What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Ancient Black Spirituality. So, today we kind of just want to get right into it because it's a little bit of a heated topic. So, we're calling this video If Our Heroes Lived. So, basically, what we wouldn't be seeing if our heroes like Malcolm X and Fred Hampton and all of Marcus Garvey and just all of our Martin Luther King, if all of our heroes would have lived, what we wouldn't have seen, especially the Black Power and Black Panther Party and Malcolm X, because of the impact that they would have had. And they would have put a stop to a lot of the behaviors that we're seeing now from Black people and white people. So, yeah, let's just get into it. So, what prompted this video was we seen that I guess this guy, Eminem, can't stand him, hate his guts. He's horrible. Um, he was he's now talking about Candace Owens. So I seen this online that he called her. She talked about it and she dissed him pretty good in my opinion. He called her a B word in his new songs and uh, all types of names and said she doesn't know that she's black and all this stuff. I don't agree with her politics or whatever. I don't have to agree with everything that she does. But I'm a person who's black first, and for I don't let others disrespect somebody even who I disagree with at times, because we all disagree at times. But you don't get to call a black woman out of her name, and the reason why he's comfortable with it is because black men have allowed it. If a black man says that, it has been tolerated for too long. And black women, we run around, not me and my sister, but I'm just speaking in general. A lot of black women, we run around saying, calling ourselves that. And so now when he says it, he'll be like, oh, well, why can't I say it? Just like with the N word. Their excuse is, well, why can't I say it? Because everyone says it. I don't care if everyone says B word. I don't care if everyone says N word. You don't get to say it because you're stealing our culture and being a culture vulture and trying to pretend that you're down with us. We know that you're racist. We know it. And we have a lot of his song, and this is not the first time that he's done this, particularly to black women, but he's done it to black men as well. Michael Jackson, Cannabis, he's done this many times to many different black people who he calls out of their name, who he disrespects them. And he's gotten away with it and nobody has ever stood up. People still defend this guy. When Dr. Umar said he can't be the greatest rapper because it's not his culture. He's a guest, he's not black, he can't be the greatest. We choose who the greatest rappers are, and that's true. And everybody got mad and all these black people came out and defended it. Like, are you serious? So where are you when he's calling our people out of their name? Where are you to say to tell him something? Oh, you're nowhere because you don't have a backbone and you're too busy listening and bumping the music. He has sexualized every different black woman, all of these black women. He thinks that he can sexualize them. He thinks that he can call them out their name. He has disrespected so many different women that we're going to show right now, and men. Like I said, he and you know what Michael Jackson did? He just bought your catalog because you're a punk, little sissy. So, Jalen, you can go ahead. You can talk.
I don't even know what to even say at this point. I just think this is what we were just talking about before we went on here. This is why this title is called that, because this is what everybody after those people that died, like as soon as 70 hit, it's like, I don't know, people, what Dr. Winter talked about in that in his lecture before about how when crack started and how they were going to devise this plan to do it. Yes, but we fell for it like real hardcore suckers, man. But in that line, people in the 90s, they made it seem like it went from really hard to now all of a sudden, less than 15 years later, we're rainbow flag wearing people now. No, this was still happening, and this is the 90s and all of this hip hop stuff. This is what has brought in what you see today. So now I'm going to ask everyone, Where is everyone who wants to flap their gums? Where are they now with this Candace Owens thing? Where is everybody now? Everybody wants to diss these new kids of today that are listening to, whether it's Little Nas X, whether it's even young girls listening to Megan Thee Stallion. You people of the 90s, and I'm not speaking to everyone, but I'm just saying, y'all sit there, y'all people that are in, your early 40s and, mid to late 30s, you sat here and you promoted this white crackhead idiot, trailer park freaking, wishing he was freaking fourth frequency. You sat here and you allowed it. So now you got other people coming in that are also white too, coming in trying to take the culture. Now you got other people that are supposed to be black, but they're not. They're not brilliant. You got people coming in now saying that this is their inspiration.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this is exactly what people mean by cloning Tyrone. That same cycle of it. And you fourth frequency people keep falling for it.
Yeah.
So where are y'all now, though? Where is your big freaking gums now? Because everybody had something to say to Dr. Umar. Everybody had something to say to Dr. Winters. Where is your energy now?
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, fourth frequency, defend your honor and say, hey, wait a minute. We make fun of her. Like, honestly, defend your honor and say, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
We're the only people that get to mock. Defend your stupid honor now.
Yeah. And it's just like with family. It's just like with family.
I just don't get it.
It's just like with family. I can make fun of my sister if I want to. But if somebody else say it, that's disrespectful. Even if it's the same thing I was thinking. It's disrespectful because you don't know it's like that. So when you're not within the black community, you don't get to say what you want
is also
about a black woman.
This is when Bill Cosby said this, and we have I don't agree with everything Booker T. Washington says either. But I'm not going to make a whole stinking video or a whole song, or I'm not going to sit here and promote
be disrespectful
and talk about these people. And then when a white person said, and this is the problem, which I'll get back to what I said about Bill Cosby, is that he said, it's fun to watch certain stuff on TV and laugh and stuff, but we're showing that to the world at this point. And that is why he didn't maybe like In Living Color. He didn't maybe like Martin, because it's like you're giving white people an opportunity to just laugh, and they think that that's the normal too. And I don't even know if he would like the Tyler Perry movies. Probably not. I just think that's the thing, is that we don't ever keep nothing in house.
Mm-hmm.
You guys publicly call these black women B words. You publicly talk about your sexual. That's why I just don't get it with even these fake wannabe Biggie and Tupac beefs nowadays, where you're like, I slept with your lady. I like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. You both have STDs now. Like what are you talking about? Like, none of this makes any sense. And Bill Cosby said in that interview, a while back, that talking about the show Amos and Andy, like, we have to keep this in house. It's fun to laugh. It's fun to make fun of ourselves. As black people, we can make jokes about stuff. We can have fun, but there is a line that you just keep in house. I don't go and tell the world every argument after I just argue with my sister or my brother or whoever. I don't go and run and tell even my mama. I don't go and I don't tell nobody anything. And so that is the issue. And nowadays with social media, people are breaking up their black happy homes over what? And they're sitting here talking about and displaying it on social media. Whether you get back to, and that's why I really can't stand Cardi B, because you're always getting back with the dude anyways. So just shut up and keep your happy little black home. Like, honestly, I don't even want you to split up. I want you to just shut up and quit being stupid. Like, just stop breaking up your home. Go somewhere with that, man. Ain't nobody trying to hear all that.
But she's her and her husband, they're part of the problem, because she'll call herself that.
Right.
And same thing with, Megan Thee Stallion or whoever. We used to have,
again,
but We used to have Queen Latifah who said, "Who you
Yeah.
calling a beat?"
But again,
And
you
that
know,
you'll
we
get
saw
punched if you
we
don't.
saw what had
if you
brought
call
this
me
in.
that.
Like, this didn't come out of nowhere.
Right.
Back in the
but
90s, you
Jalen,
had
the
Lil
way,
Kim.
yeah, but
Let's not act like you guys.
everybody acts
of
like
the
that
90s,
that wasn't at the time.
I
though.
understand.
That wasn't at the time. Because at least what I
But-
can say about the 90s, what was good is that you had a variety. Now social media actually makes it less of a variety because everything is
Right.
filtered.
It's
through the
filtered for
fake
sure. And I'm not
algorithm.
saying there's not good people out there.
So
But I'm just saying
So-
this is how you get these what we
Right.
have now.
But
with
yeah,
Marshall
I mean-
Mathers. Your name's not Eminem. I'm saying
Right.
your public name.
oh yeah.
That you. This is how you get Marshall Mathers.
Mhm.
This is how you get that. This is how you get the others that have come after him. The
His
so-called
sons.
the so-called black ones and the white ones that you sit here and we sit here and we allow it. You got people like Dr. Dre, 50 Cent. Sorry. What
Curtis
is Dr.
Jackson.
Dre's real name? I don't even know his real name. Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent. Yeah, you. Curtis Jackson. You're all of the I can.
What's Snoop's name? Calvin Broder or what?
I don't know
Calvin
these people's
Brody
real names.
or
All
whatever.
you people want to literally, man, there's so much stuff that I
Or Curtis,
can say that it wouldn't like they know what they do.
Yeah.
So
Here,
there's no point in me saying this, but
Let
let's stop talking acting like we don't know
Yeah. But let me
what
just
this
say
is
this too.
when y'all endorse this time after time after time.
But let me say this. Me and my sister, right? We're making a video right now. We don't get a whole lot of views, which is good because we know that there's not a lot of people who understand this stuff. So we get a small community, which is fine. Dr. Winters, he gets obviously more views than us, but it's a small community, which he says is a good thing because when you get a small community to come together, you can build upon that. You can build something and work together. And that's what we're doing. So even though we all have the freedom to get on the internet and make a video or do a song or do whatever, you think you're so free and there's more opportunities. There's really not, because the algorithm or whatever they call it, it's not set up or designed for B1 content. It's not. So when you find Dr. Winters, the way I found him was through really searching for specific topics. So the way you find somebody, that's not going to pop up on your feed.
Right.
Even when you watch it all the time, sometimes you won't get the notifications. So videos like what me and my sister do, what Dr. Winters does, that stuff, B1 content doesn't get pushed in the algorithm. It actually can get hidden now because they can take your videos down or just not, it won't get seen in anybody's feed. So that's the difference. Is we think that there should be more of a variety now. Logically, the way we think logically, it would make sense that there's more of a variety within music, but there's not, because the algorithm pushes that Marshall Mathers inspired music.
Yeah, we don't even listen to it, and remember it popped up on our TV.
Right. I don't
like.
I do not, and I said, why is this?
Make no sense.
And I said, why is this white man? Why is this white boy popping up?
Megan Thee Stallion
on my thing.
All those pictures and Beyonce and stuff. Her Renaissance silly junk. That's all. That was always popping up, and I'm like, dude, Cardi B even. Mm-hmm. Dude, I don't listen to these people. Right. I can watch 100 Malcolm X recordings, videos,
Dr.
like
Winters.
Dr. Winters. Of course, I'm subscribed, and people don't put that up on your feed. It's some goofy junk that you never ever watched. I never look up their names. I never look up their videos or click on any of them. Even the Kardashians.
Yeah. We never watch
like,
their content.
Are you really serious?
And
right
then
now?
Yet you're showing me something that's going to get me upset.
Yeah.
I don't want to see things that are going to get me upset. I want to see B1 content, but the only way to see it is to create it. And so that's why I'm creating it. That's why me and my sister create it.
All these,
because it doesn't matter.
It don't matter.
Yeah. But that's why, please support us. Please just subscribe, give a like on this video, please.
And the live, and that's what we said. Last time, kind of guys, we talked about the books that's kind of also what the library has become. Like, you pick it up and you think it, and then except it's even more false advertising because you really think it's not the stuff that you're going to see on the internet, but it's even just as bad or worse. Like, it's still the same vulgarity or still the same fake, message that they want to, they want to indoctrinate these young kids. That's what it is. And the library has starting to become that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But this is the thing, they're never going to shut down the library. The internet might go out, but they're never going to shut down the libraries. It's never going to go away. It's never going to go old. Reading is never going to go out of style.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always going to be truth in it. And it's up to you to pick up and find it or not. But they are infiltrating that as well.
Yeah.
And so I just think now is the best time more than ever to start pumping and pumping and pumping this out. So that way it's just like one big ball of all of this stuff that now it has to combat that. And so far in this time frame of era, there hasn't been really music to other than Yoshi, like there hasn't been anyone else to really combat that.
Let's just give him his props real quick. Listen, go support Yoshimod on YouTube.
And if that's the only person
Gumroad.
I listen to from today, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because listen, everybody who's mad, like, why don't we have another, like, what are you mad for? You had one Whitney Houston. You had one Michael Jackson. You had one Luther. You had a Sam Cooke. You had a James Brown. You had all of that. Like, yes. I know it's frustrating that people don't, but what do you expect? Like, honestly, they were so great that there could only be one of each. Like, that's how great they were. Is it annoying that people want to take their talents? I think Beyonce has a really good singing voice. I think she has a good, I think her look at one point was good. I think I think that at one point, I do think she has a star thing to her that people seem to gravitate towards. But again, you're using it for evil. You're using it for not really good. It's not good music. It's trash. I don't even know what you're doing. It's some real,
and it's not a positive message.
Man,
you're a married.
I can't even.
But she's a married woman.
That is.
You're a married
like,
woman.
It's just really.
Listen, you're a married woman showing your body off and talking about single ladies. I don't understand that.
That's
if you're
not
married,
even the worst of it.
Why? No, but
Talking
when you're married and you have children, why is that the promotion?
Oh, remember that? Talk about the Serena Williams video.
Oh, yeah, where Serena Williams, I guess, she was twerking in the video, and I'm not going to get into that because I don't want.
Edward, nah.
I'm sorry. This is old.
But I'm saying, why are you saying that? If you're married, and one ladies did a video saying Cardi B and all these people, y'all making videos, music about the single life when all of you guys are married.
Yeah.
Like, and it doesn't make any sense.
Cardi B, those people were making fun of her because she said, I don't cook or I don't clean or something.
Yeah.
And then she was on Instagram and she was cooking something and she was like sweeping and stuff. So it's like, you're lying.
Why is that a bad, like, it's almost
right,
like you're
but
dissing
now
women
you're
that
being
do that.
now a hypocrite because you get caught doing it and everybody's like, oh, you're a liar. You're not like a real boss woman or whatever. Of course she's not. She doesn't run that relationship.
But you shouldn't be even dissing people that actually do that. That's actually what a boss lady does.
Here's what it is. It's taking the femininity out of the female music and the divinity of it. And it's taking the masculinity out of the black male music. And that's what it is.
Nothing about none of the.
That's all it is what's masculine about you, Curtis Jackson? Let's just get on him for a second. Dr. Dre, whatever your real name is. What is masculine? You let your daughter be homeless. What is masculine, though, about you guys backing up this guy to this day? Backing up this guy, Marshall Mathers. What is masculine about that when he has disrespected black people and especially black women many times? And I want to just show the receipts real quick of all the different, these are just some of the examples of what he has said about multiple different black women. So let's just show Let's just get everybody a little bit upset. Let's see. Let's go to let's first show his old racist rap. Okay, so Eminem apologized for his old racist rap. This was in 2003. This was written in 2003. So I don't even know when he said this. Probably in the 90s. Having already offended millions, blah blah blah. Over a 10-year-old track in which he refers to black women as dumb chicks and says he will in future date only white. Okay. The sword. Let's see what they.
Wow.
Okay, here we go. Hold on. Oh. Okay. Let me read this. On the unacknowledged track, a singer calling himself Eminem, that's him, obviously. I don't care. Don't pretend it's not him. Refers to that N-word-ish. You see this? Any black man who's supporting this isn't masculine.
Okay, yeah, there's more.
On the acknowledged track, he says, blacks and whites, they sometimes mix, but black girls only want your money because they're dumb chicks. Don't date a black girl. If you do it twice. If you do it once, you won't do it twice. Black girls are dumb and white girls are good chicks. So lyrical, isn't this? Okay. He put the tape was something I made out of anger, stupidity, and frustration when I was a teenager. I just broken up with my girlfriend who was African American. Why? Okay. And I reacted like the angry, stupid kid I was. I hope people will take it for the foolishness that it was, not for what somebody is trying to make it into today. First of all,
I just don't.
That's your reaction. Let me stop sharing for a second. Let's discuss
You didn't denounce racism, though.
That is your reaction. That's your apology. That's an excuse. You're saying, I was just a dumb little kid when I broke up with my African American girlfriend.
You're not denouncing racism, though.
And whoever was dating you, she needs to, I hope she never did that again. She better go back to her people. Because don't do this.
Honestly, don't come back over here.
Well, you better go learn something.
Yeah.
Because honestly, listen, that's his excuse. So any black man who's supporting him or black woman,
I still don't see, he did not condemn racism.
He didn't condemn it.
And but y'all want Kyrie to condemn anti-Semitism.
But see, he didn't say,
y'all got a lot of nerve, boy.
He didn't even say what I said was racist. He didn't even say what I
said. This is what I said. Was disrespectful. I take accountability and I denounce racism.
He didn't say that. And even if he did, you're still racist.
Yeah.
But you didn't even pretend. Around. You don't even pretend to say sorry. You didn't say sorry.
Around everything.
You're still like, oh, I said that when I was a kid and I was mad. So that's what you say when you get mad? So what you say when Curtis Jackson makes you mad? What do you say when Dr. Dre makes you mad? Okay. So now let's go to what started this whole conversation, which was the whole Candace Owens thing. So I'm going to show what he said about her.
Yeah, this is recent.
This is recent, guys. This guy just put out something. I guess he just put out an album.
This is like
so
days
look,
ago.
Feuded. Okay, this is what he's saying. Feuded with them. And Candace, I ain't mad at her. I ain't gonna throw the fact B word forgot she was black back at her. Laugh at her like them crackers she's backing after her back is turned. So he called her Clandis, this MAGA dirtbag in a skirt. So he called her a B word. I know y'all see that. Notice that. He called her a B word again. He's again calling a black woman out of her name. B word. And look at the difference from what he said in the 90s to what he's saying now. So he's telling this black woman that she's not black and that she's turned her back on the black community. But I thought you said that black people are stupid and black women are dumb and white women are so great. So which one is it? Why are you trying to pretend you're on the black people's side? Who are you to tell a black woman if she turned her back on the black community? And you're calling her Clandis Owens? How? What makes you think? I don't support none of these politicians. They're all racist and stupid. That's the whole point. So she's supporting Trump. Obviously, she's dumb because she thinks that this stuff is real. She's just silly. And she's married to a white man. So obviously she has her issues. But that doesn't mean that this man,
We know
this
that's
Amu,
Cade's.
that
He doesn't know
that
what
that
is.
doesn't mean that this she has AIDS. And she needs healing. Obviously, she needs help. But this guy right here don't get to say nothing. You don't get to say that about her. We can say that about her. And I'm diagnosing her because I want her to be better. You don't say nothing. And this is what happens, Candace, though, a little bit. When you're married to the Amu, and why isn't he defending you? Everyone said, why doesn't Nick Cannon defend Mariah Carey? He did. But why? Where's her man to say anything? Oh, he's hiding. He's hiding somewhere because he's too scared to say something to one of his own that's talking about your so-called wife, calling her a B word. So this is ridiculous. But I still believe that black people and black men really need to stop supporting this dude. Should have never been supporting him. He's calling black women all types of B words. But when you're a black man who does it, you kind of have to just excuse it. Now let's go to what he said about the queen. The mother goddess, Lauryn Hill.
Hill.
So let's give this a little bit of context. Back in the day, Lauryn Hill said, if only white folks bought her album, it would be a disappointment because she makes it for her people. That's in a nutshell what she said. That's not a direct quote, but that's basically what she said back in the day. She said, I want, it's on YouTube. You can find it. She said, I want my people, if my people didn't listen to my music, that would make me sad because that's why I do it. And what's wrong with her saying that? She said, I didn't care if any white people bought mine, but if no black people did, that'd make her mad. That's how I feel. If anyone, what? If some white folks got my book instead of, and I only want black people to get my stuff because that's who it's for. So yes, and people tried to say she was racist. She can't be racist. She's a black woman. So look what he says about Lauryn Hill right here. Bought Lauryn Hill's tape so her kids could starve. So you want her black children to starve. I can't stand white people. So he's making fun of her as if she said, I can't stand white people. When did she say that? When? And so let's call out Busta Rhymes. I'm sorry. Okay, I like Busta Rhymes. I do. But I'm sorry, brother, but you was sitting up there with Lauryn Hill. Everybody acts like she's the mother goddess and they love her so much. He said that that's his favorite female rapper and all this stuff. And you still work with this dude. How you gonna work with him and then act like you love all these sisters? Like that's a contradiction, dude. It really is. How you gonna say you a 5%er?
Yeah.
And you work with that dude. Have you ever confronted him on any of this? Nope. Because you say he's so great. When you're greater than he is, but you bow down to him so much that you'll say he's better than you. Or just as good or whatever. This is crazy. Look at how many times he said this. And now we're going to go to the main beef. He had a whole beef with a woman, with a sister, a black woman. And yes, she claims her blackness. She's always said she's black.
Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey. You don't have to agree with everything. what people say and do. But you're not going to talk about a black woman, any black woman, in this way. You're really not. And the fact that this dude has been doing this since the 90s and continued to gain fame and popularity is ridiculous. At least within the black community.
Yeah.
No black person should ever listen to his music ever. But there's some people out there. I'm not going to say it's really like a ton, but there's a good amount. There's too many. Because one is too many. Supporting him and literally buying this stuff and listening to it. Look what he said. He disrespected Nick Cannon and Mariah Carey and their marriage. Yep. He said, Mariah, whatever happened to us? Why do we have to break up? She was never with you, dummy. And then got, what did he say? Nick Cannon, I wish you luck with the effing WHORE. You're calling a sister that? Huh? And we've been saying that. So let me just tell you guys.
Let's go to the camera.
Yeah, okay. So I just want y'all to see that this is what he said. Verbatim. These are the lyrics. Okay? So we're not new to going against this guy. I've been hating this dude. I've been not liking this dude at all. And all of his little sons who run around saying how inspired they are by him. If that's your inspiration, I feel sorry for you. Because then that means that you inspire to grow up and disrespect black women and black people. That's what it means.
You inspire to be them.
You inspire to be them. And you have CAIDS, culturally acquired immune identity deficiency syndrome. Dr. Winters came up with that. And that's what your diagnosis is. It's a psychological equivalent to the AIDS virus. Go look up Dr. Winters' lectures on CAIDS. This is real, and these celebrities have it. Or anyone who wishes, and not just celebrities, a lot of people have it. And anyone listening to this guy, Marshall Mathers, has CAIDS. And if you respect that he's doing that, you have issues. You totally have issues. And like I said, I don't have to agree with but I'm always going to be on the side of another black woman. I'm always going to be on the side of a black man. I'm never going to take their side ever. Like what? Oh, you're so cool. You're going against Trump. You're not fooling me. Like, you're not. I don't care. You're a faker.
And it goes back to the point of keeping it in the house. We can say what we want about her. We can feel it's just like what Dr. Umar said about we get to decide who is our greatest rapper. We get to decide who is our can you say uncle? We get to decide who's our uncles and aunties and who's the
we can decide who's
the buck dancers and all of that. We get to decide who's doing what. We get to say First Frequency gets to say it, not fourth, not third, not one. One, only one. Not two, not three, not four.
Yeah.
None of y'all gets to say it except for B1 First Frequency. Yeah. Nobody else gets to.
Yeah.
Even y'all so-called, y'all don't get to say nothing. Y'all don't get to say nothing. You know, even what Stephen A. had a comment to say about, OJ being showed at the BET Awards. Shut up.
Yeah.
You Third Frequency. I don't even know if I can call him. You buck dancing idiot. Just shut up. Shut up. You didn't say ish when he died, so be quiet. Yeah. We can say something about OJ if we want. These stupid white idiots trying to make a little documentary about their sister, you can shut up. Yeah. You can honestly shut up. You weren't there. He was found not guilty. Everyone can really shut up. Mr. William H. Cosby, shut up. Yep. All you white women wanting to make jokes and get your cracks in now, shut up.
Yep.
Shut up.
Because also you ain't say nothing
You
when
didn't
he was
say-
doing good.
You didn't say nothing to R. Kelly. You didn't say nothing to R. Kelly when it's
Mhm.
majority nothing but black women and
And don't get
little
me-
black boys too.
Don't get me started on y'all
You didn't
making
say
fun of
nothing
Michael
to him.
Jackson.
You didn't say nothing to him because nobody cares about black women getting abused or black boys getting abused. You didn't say ish to R. Kelly, so shut up. Everybody got something to say about a man who has been found not guilty. Michael Jackson, shut up. Chris Rock, you let these white grown men say the N-word in your face and you don't say ish. That's why you got slapped by the Emancipation Man. Shut up.
Mhm.
You're a buck dancer too.
Marlon Wayans.
Marlon Wayans, really,
Oh.
really shut up. Just really.
But look what these people have done. He's played in a movie called White Chicks.
That's what I'm saying.
And he has said that he defended Hulk Hogan. He
For
came to
saying,
his
yeah.
defense and said it was fine that he said the N-word and who cares, and
He defended Justin
whatever.
Bieber
He
for that
defended
one
Justin
less lonely.
Bieber.
He
Justin
defended
Bieber
that.
said the
And he said,
N-word.
"Oh, it's funny."
He
He
laughed.
said that.
He defended Jimmy Fallon doing blackface. So he has defended these people to the end. That's the definition of Cades. Where you will defend these people, man, more than you defend yourself. You won't ever come to the defense of a black person, but you will come to the defense of them. This is what people do for Marshall Mathers. They come to his defense, but they don't come to no sister's defense ever.
And this is exactly what we were talking about. And, even when Cat Williams said it's not even a black thing or a white thing, it's just who's on the right side and who's on the
No.
wrong side or whatever. But you're only calling out black people. What is Steve Harvey? Raise your hand if Steve Harvey raped you. Raise your hand if Steve Harvey freaking put a bullet in your chest. Raise your hand if Steve Harvey took, food off your plate. Like, honestly, really, shut up. You're talking about Steve Harvey and Fat Cedric. Like, be quiet. Who are you talking about, really? But you don't have, you said one thing about Harvey Weinstein trying to, I don't even know what, you still talking about Michael. You still talking about all these, shut up, dude. Who are you even talking about? Some people that haven't done nothing? Where is your energy when this punk white idiot is talking about Candace Owens?
And even if you're saying it's not about white or black, it's on God's side, okay, this is ungodly. So why aren't you calling this out? Oh, because all of a sudden you don't know how to
calling
go
women out their
on
names?
a podcast and talk. When it's time to say don't call a black woman out of her name. Because no one wants to defend it. People are not really masculine. They're pretending. They have smoke for everybody who's within their race because that's what's safe to say. It's safe to say a guy who hosts Family Feud, Steve Harvey, who really ain't doing nothing. Yeah, he said money over integrity. Of course, I don't agree with that. That's some third frequency buck dance and stuff to say, obviously. But he's not hurting nobody. Except for himself by doing that. Like, that's his own problem. But you're so quick to call him out. And Cedric the Entertainer, what's he doing? You're quick to call them out, but you're not quick. And you called out Martin Lawrence. Really? Leave him alone. Leave my guy alone. And I don't agree with everything he does.
No.
I really don't. I don't agree with it. But the
This
fact
is
that
not
we're
about
so
agreeing
quick,
all the time.
you're so quick to call each other out. Why don't you call out the people who are actually doing this stuff? People who are actually causing harm and who are actually disrespecting people. Why don't we call that out? But no one has smoke for that because it ain't safe to say nothing about Marshall Mathers.
And this conversation about how it is today, we started talking before we did this, came on here, is okay, well, if these people that were this is why this is called If Our Heroes Lived, if the Malcolms lived, if Fred Hampton lived, if the Panthers were still rocking into even the late 80s, early 90s, what would the trajectory be of hip hop, of how black men carry?
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, even the Panthers, but everybody was protecting the black female at the time. And then really once crack hit the streets, you saw that it was everybody
for themselves.
for themselves. But there was a time, and it looked so. I think like people thought that the Cosby Show was very unrealistic because it would in that time in the 80s, and everyone was looking at it like that was just a non-existent thing, when really during that time, when really some of the worst stuff was happening, is when the strongest uh black relationships, black families, everything, black businesses, everything was coming together still, and we had each other's back, and we knew the law. We knew the words that were coming out of our mouth. We knew what we were doing to protect ourselves, and how we were going to do it. We were protecting our children.
We had a plan.
And now it's
Black
like we have to
men had a
protect
plan.
each other from each other. And that is what has created this now.
Yeah.
So it's not even just
right.
others.
The fact that we have to watch out for ourselves and watch out for, well, we can't even trust our own people. And on top of that, obviously, these people will never change. So it's like, but now we're trying to become them so bad. So many of us want to be like them. So now you don't know if it's a wolf in sheep's clothing or what. You don't know. And yes, there's been people doing this for years, but I do think that the people who were third frequency in the past, the people who were like that in the past, they still were trying to be V1. And so there is a difference now. And I think that if Malcolm would have lived even into the 90s, man, it would have been different. With Tupac and Biggie, that wouldn't have happened. That type of music, even if it was put out, it would have been called out by him as disrespectful and horrible music. And not all of it from Biggie, I'm sorry, none of that is good music. None of it is good for us. You can say that it's like that you like the song, but
with
none of it is positive.
His
with
mother
Tupac,
was a Panther,
it's different.
so
yeah.
if the Panthers were around though, and if she ended up being
right,
on
she ended
drugs
up being
and
on crack, and that's what made him not respect her for a while. Like,
but if he really got to see what that was.
And be a part of it,
like growing up in it, it would have been a different.
If it was like,
it would have been different.
If it was like structured,
that music wouldn't have been like that.
If it was structured and it was like, okay, your mama was a Panther, now you're into it, and it's like a military type thing, except you're in because your parent was in, and you're gonna be trained. Then we wouldn't have these sissified men.
And that's the thing. We stopped training.
We stopped training them to be. Let me start with boys. Then I'll go on to the girls. So, the men have stopped training boys to become men. That's why they're staying at that boy stage. They're staying in that boy phase. And women have stopped being feminine. So now we have stopped raising feminine girls. We have stopped raising girls who are in that divine femininity. That's why I did make a video on the mother goddess and the moon cycle. And me and my sister are going to do more conversations like that. The reason why it's so important is because when we were younger, I don't even know how we turned out like this. I'm not trying to big ourselves up. But when we were younger, we didn't see great examples of divine feminine Black women in our lives. No offense. It's just the truth. And so as we got older, you learn it for yourself. And that's unfortunate when it has to be like that. But majority of people don't learn it from themselves. They're just going to take on what they see. And it's not the child's fault. So if you're allowing the phone to raise your kid, don't get surprised, man, when they're listening to Marshall Mathers. Don't get surprised if they're listening to this death culture music. Because it's not a lifestyle, it's a death style. And that's what the music is promoting, whether it's from the so-called Black artists or the white artists. It's all wrapped up in that same ball of doo-doo. Like, it all stems from the same thing. Yep, and it all stinks. And We really got to get back to that training of our children. You train, and I'm not trying to tell parents what to do, but as the child, as someone who was just a child, as a child, speaking from that perspective, who didn't see that growing up, you really have to be that for your kids. And that's why for us, we're putting out the content so that so that kids can have something that they could
And also, our own
watch
kids
and
won't thinking that we're just BSing and not
right,
doing anything.
and something that I would, if I, when I have kids, and if I had kids now, I would let my kids watch the content and read
Yeah.
the content that I create. It's
And
not
also, you can't say, this is what we
right.
said with the book thing. You can't just say go read and then you're on your phone.
Yes.
You have to really be the example. And so not only when it's different, like it's that practice what you preach, and you know, in our case, no one was really preaching that, or because people that it just wasn't, nobody was doing that and nobody had learned that. And at the end of the day, it's like, when does that excuse of you being just ignorant, when does that like it go out? Because we had to learn on our own a lot of things. Like, when does, oh, I didn't know it, when does that eventually cut off? Because eventually when you have kids and they're following and that, you can't even get mad at this point, because you're what did you teach them to steer necessarily away from it? Nothing.
Right.
Okay.
What did you replace that negative content with? So if there's so much negative content out there, what are you showing your child that's going to combat that, and that's going to raise them up in the way that they have to be as a man or as a woman? Because you're not raising boys and girls. We have to raise masculine men and feminine women. So when you're teaching a young girl, because I'm not going to tell people how to raise a man because I'm not a man. But when, as a young girl, I'm just going to speak from my perspective. If I would have had that at a younger age from a feminine Black woman in my life, and seeing the way she just carries herself, even as an example, would have just given me an extra something at an earlier age. When you don't explain to young girls the divinity that's within their cycle, the divinity that's within their womb, the divinity that's within them, and to the Black boys, like, you don't teach that masculinity is of God, and that when you protect, when you provide, when you are chivalrous, when you are respectful, when you carry yourself, when you speak up and talk with your chest out, when you do those and portray those masculine behaviors, that's of God. And that is what God designed us to do. And when we work together and come together in that way, we can create whatever we want. We can create magic. We can create not only beautiful families, but we can build pyramids, because that's what we were doing. So we can get back to that power, but you have to be within your power. And that's why they take it out. And if Malcolm would have lived, if the Panthers were still going, if all of our traditions kept on going, if all of our heroes could have lived longer, if Fred Hampton could have lived longer, he was only 21 when he was assassinated, it would have been different, because a voice would have been there, a masculine voice would have been there to say to Black men, if you don't have a father, you would have heard it from them. And you would have said, they would have said, listen, we're not having that, because music is powerful. And Yoshima talks about it all the time. The frequencies of the music, the lyrics of the music. If all you're hearing is death, killing, death, killing, death, killing, what are you going to be? What are you going to be doing? If all you do is listen to that and then play killing video games, and then like everything has this stuff in it. If that's all you're doing, and if that's all you have your kid doing because you don't have time for them, or because you're busy on your phone, it's not going to work. This is why we're creating, and we're going to continue to create so much more content, not just on YouTube. This is like thing that we do like on a whim, like YouTube videos. We just like talking and having these discussions. But the content that I'm talking about our books. We put out 4 books combined this year, and there's going to be way more coming this year. She has a children's book that we both kind of worked on together. She wrote the book, and I was able to create the pictures using ChatGPT. So we did a children's book called Just Call Me Sam. It's on Amazon. She did a young adult book called Passes Never Pass on Amazon. I did a book on Southeast Asia, Ancient Blacks in Cambodia, the Khmer Empire. And I did my book, Ancient Black Spirituality. These 2 are nonfiction books, and all of them are on Amazon. And if you allow your kids, whatever reading level, whatever age group they're in, we kind of have a book for each interest. So whatever child age range you have, or for yourself, you can get these books. You can get Dr. Winter's books on Amazon, and these books will really help your child gain knowledge and taking back our power. If we don't know who we are, we won't be who we're supposed to be. You have to know what you were designed to be first. What did God make you to be? What were you designed to be and to do? And that's what we try to put in our books, and we try to instill a positive message. Kids shouldn't be listening to this death culture music, which has been around for far too long. And if our heroes would have lived, this wouldn't be, I really highly doubt that we would be in the situation that we're in today. But the reason why, this is why Michael Jackson was assassinated. Like, and that wasn't even, well, it was 15 years ago. But that wasn't even that long ago. Because it's too much influence. Things wouldn't be happening. You know how different music would be? Because of one man? Because he moved differently. We used to move different. We used to move smart. We don't move smart no more. It's just totally different. I just find it sick. It's sickening that these people can get away with saying this stuff, and no one ever has to apologize. No one ever has to beg us for forgiveness.
Because we're not demanding.
We don't demand it. But I am. If anyone sees this and you're up them cheeks and you lick, sniff, and kiss Marshall Mathers' butt or any of them other people, then I hope you heard what we just said, and I hope you saw them lyrics up there. And I don't care. That's who you praise. If that's who you praise, I feel sorry for you. I only praise God. You need to say sorry to me. Why don't everybody get down and say sorry to all of us, to all Black people? He needs to say sorry to all Black people for what he's done. And Black men and women need to step up. Stop trying to be like them and step up into your rightful space. But even though not everybody's going to step up, but even if a few people just step up and say, hey, you're not going to say that about nobody. You're not going to call her out her name. If you hear stuff like this, we got to stop it, because you're not going to call. I don't care if I don't agree with Candace Owens. You're not going to call her a B word. You're not going to call Mariah Carey what you called her. You're not going to call her that. You're not going to say what you said about Lauryn Hill, trying to pretend that she's racist towards you. When you've said the N-word how many times? You're not going to get away with this. And you're not going to get away with taking our culture and then trying to doo-doo on us.
I just don't want to hear it If there was no defense for Kyrie, then why is there a backlash to Candace?
Mm-hmm.
That's my point. Even with the OJ thing, Bruce Jenner wants to say good riddance.
Mm-hmm.
But when Carol Bryant or whatever her name is that did what she did to Emmett Till,
Mm-hmm.
There was no good riddance. There was nothing even said about it.
Yep.
That's how simp everyone is. So good for you. Like, honestly, really don't care.
Then don't say
That's
nothing.
not good riddance, but OJ is good riddance. Are you serious? A
Mhm.
14-year-old child. I don't even have nothing to even say.
But don't say anything then. That's my thing is why do people want to open up their dumb mouth?
Nobody wants to keep their same energy. And that goes for you, Marshall Mathers. There's no energy when we're getting killed in the streets. There's no energy when Kyrie is, out here getting crucified for what? There's no energy for that, but you got energy to make a song calling a black woman a B word and acting like she's part of the KKK or something. You can get out of here with that. Again, we get to decide. First Frequency gets to decide who's who and what's what, and we already diagnosed her. You don't know ish from shingles about that. So you can be quiet. And all you other people that follow him and listen to him even and listen to all his sons and stuff, get up out of here with that. Don't get mad when all these others then are doing that because they follow him. They follow their good old white savior daddy. They follow him. So you guys can really shut up about complaining about this new era of new music when y'all older generation, a lot of y'all, I'm not putting everyone in the category, but a lot of y'all, just like not every young person, we're people of this generation, not every young person listens to people of today and these, honestly, skeezers of today either. But you guys endorse this and you guys allowed this to come into play. So nobody can get
And
mad about anything anymore.
he's been made, not just him, but all of them who want to steal our culture. They've been made comfortable to the point where they feel like they can say this and millions of people are watching. They have a very big audience and they think that they're so cozy. He feels so cozy to say this about Candace because he thinks black people are going to be in agreement with him. We're not. Not First Frequency. We're definitely not. B1 ain't cool with that. You don't get to say nothing. I don't want to hear nothing, none of your mouth. I don't care what you're saying. And then these Caucasian fake rappers want to act like white privilege doesn't exist, want to say stuff about slavery and stuff. Don't say nothing. If you want to do music, your sad devil music, then do it. But why they so obsessed with us? Yeah, that's why she hit him with that. Because, yeah, why is you obsessed with her and all of us? Huh?
It really is. Just like,
You're upset. You have an obsession with us. Oh, I know why. Because you wish you were us. What if you were black? Yeah. You wish you were black. You wish you were us. You wish you had melanin so you could be more smart. You wish you had melanin. You wish you were a black man from the hood. You wish you had that story. But you don't. You're just a white boy from Transpark who got bullied by some black folks. Boo-hoo. Shut up. And they always want us to feel sorry. And there's some people who do. Y'all black people talking about y'all feel sorry for him. Do he care about you? Nope. But I'm supposed to listen to your sob story because you put yourself on drugs or whatever? All these white folks got the same story. I was on drugs and now I overcame it. That's your big whoop-de-doo sad story? Really? That's your own fault. That's your fault. Why are you obsessed though with talking about black people in your music? If you have such a great story to tell,
and my thing is that as
tell
black
it.
people, why do we want to hear their stories
Yep.
when there's so many of our stories that have never been told?
Yep.
And we're still trying to write it. We're still trying to
Yes.
research it and find it. And you're talking about I'm gonna listen to Marshall Mathers. I'm gonna listen to all this bull-ish of today or or whoever. Like, come on, are you serious? When none of our stories have gotten any none of our stories have a lot of our stories haven't even seen the light of day. What are you talking about? Shut up, man. This is just ridiculous. I don't even have any, like, I just don't get it. I don't get why any, I'm more mad at the black people that choose to, or American Africans that choose to listen to that choose to make it seem like and add that into their experience.
That's
Like, really,
relatable.
they want to be you, but yet you want to be
How
them.
is that relatable to you? How is that relatable? If that relates to you, then you're stupid. Like,
Even how they talk, and they talked about this in one of the conversations. Yoshi made the example of Tupac about his mother song about "Dear Mama" compared to what Eminem is doing. Like, when has it even been in our culture? It's their culture to disrespect their women.
Yeah.
Which is Dr. Lynch has always said.
And
Disrespect their wives, their mamas. Be limp wrist. Be all of their stuff has ended in that. Yeah. They can never get it right. Yeah. So what are you talking about? That's what they were doing in the caves. That's how all of this kicked off, and that's continuously going to be in their genetics. And that's what they do. They disrespect women. They're fruity patootie, and you're talking about some. Yeah, and that's what we, as supposed to be black people, that's what we're bobbing our heads to. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Really doesn't. Like, I just don't get it. But cool.
And that's why it's so important to
support. Who wants somebody else's experience?
Right. He wants your experience, but then you're like, I want yours. Like, what? It's so crazy. But that's why it's so important to support positive black content, and not just us on the music side and just the creative side in general. It's Yoshimon, and he's doing B1 music that you guys have to listen to and support, because it's something that you can listen to with your kids. There's not cussing in it. There's no disrespect of women. No, it's telling our stories that have never been told. He's going to create so much, and hopefully he's going to create more things in, in a team with us. All of us together can work together and create even more content as we continue to just build and learn and work together. But he's going to do so many different things within music, within documentaries, movies, cartoons. Like, we have a vision for our stuff as well, that I feel like if we all three just come together and work together, we can make so much happen and put so much out that's positive. And that's why he made the song for my book, Ancient Black Spirituality. He made a theme song for it. And the fact that he did that was so cool. And this is positive music that's catchy. That's a beautiful song that has a great message in it, and that corresponds with my book.
Exactly.
And it's something that you can listen to, and it's just a really nice song. I listen to it all the time, and it goes with my book so well. And I've never seen anyone have a theme song for their book and a video and everything that goes with it.
This is never before.
This is creativity. Like, this is what happens when you're B1. Your creativity is through the roof. You're doing things that have not been done. So he can create a song. And he said on the episode of Then and Now that we were on, he explained that he had to feel my energy and my ancient black spirituality in order to create the song and the visuals. So it's a vibe and an energy you have to feed off of one another.
Absolutely.
And so how can you do that if you're just feeding off of what these Marshall Mathers people are doing? If you're just feeding off of what these others are doing, then you're never going to get anywhere. You're never going to reach your full creativity. You're just not. And I feel like being within that B1 space and being within and around people like Yoshi and Dr. Winters pushes me to do more. I didn't know about ChatGPT and stuff. I didn't know about using AI. And now I was able to create my own book cover, and I was able to help her create a picture book, because now they have helped me learn the tools that I can use to create B1 content, things that I can utilize to help me create more content. So supporting Yoshimod and Dr. Winters and us is, and others, anyone out here who's doing positive Black content, if you see it, support it, because it's few and far between. It's not going to come into the algorithm like that. And subscribe to people's channel, give a like on their videos, just to help them out, with their content, because I am tired of
Yeah.
this.
And let's make this maybe a conversation. What do you think? If
What do
our
you
hero
think?
if our heroes live ... you fill in the blanks. What would this structure look like today of
Yeah.
how we have our kids and how we teach them and or don't, compared to if things would have been different?
Yeah, because we do want this to be conversational. We want you guys to be in the comments. We will respond and things like that. So if you're in the comments, we'll respond to you. We will like your comment if you're in there. So say your comments. Let us know what you think about, not just Marshall Mathers. He's not the only one doing it, but he's the main one. He wants to be the, white father of all of this. But he's out here doing this, and it's been the past like 30 years of him calling Black women out of their names and feeling comfortable in doing so. And what do you think music would be like, or just life in general would be like, if our heroes could have lived longer? So let us know in the comments. Give a like and a subscribe, and it won't hurt. If you want to check out our books, they're on Amazon. Um, we have 4 different books out there. So please support us and check it out. We're going to continue doing videos, and continue just putting out books and content, and trying to be positive, B1 content for our children, our youth, and the adults. Because it's not even a lot of good content for adults nowadays either. So thanks for watching and listening to this. We just wanted to call out this guy, and I'm sick of the disrespect. That's all. Are you going to say anything?
No, I think I said all I had to say.
All right. Peace.
See ya.